Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Rimworld. So, quick kind of disclaimer here. This is going to be post-commentary, unfortunately, because for one reason or another, Audacity has every once in a while been causing me huge problems. When I'm recording the audio while I'm playing, I can see the audio spikes as I'm recording, as we should. And, you know, it's all looking like it's working normal. And then, the minute I hit the stop button, all the audio spikes and everything I recorded flatlines and is dead silent. It happened to me during the entirety of my recording of Game of Thrones. Which is why you don't see Game of Thrones Episode 2 up, because I recorded it, and then all my personal audio just disappeared. I apologize for that. So this is going to be a little bit of a different commentary for Episode 2 of Rimworld. Hopefully it'll be fixed for Episode 3. So as you can see, I'm actually looking into building a wall here. I want to make sure that there is no possibility of the enemies kind of coming through up that little hole over there. And because of the way the map actually has a line on the left-hand side, I can't build past a certain point. So I'm actually building kind of a bigger, more unnecessary, I guess, wall than I normally would. It's just to ensure that I'm going to have defenses up and running and making sure that I kind of tunnel people throughout and making sure that they're only going to come from one particular direction to keep things safe. We're also going to want to make sure we get our research table up, which you saw me plop down a little bit earlier, because I want to make sure I can build a geothermal plant as soon as I possibly can, since power is going to be a little bit more of a problem. I also want to ensure that I'm actually going to have a refrigerator and a cooking and butchering station up as well, so we're going to get that up and running as quickly as we can to ensure that we are going to be making some simple meals and all kinds of things. I think about putting it up at the top there, but I end up putting it over on the side instead to make sure I have the room for people to come on through. And this is actually going to allow me to build a kind of side attachment refrigerator on the left-hand side and build a wall just above that stuff as well. And the earlier we can start stockpiling potatoes and zirigium, or whatever you want to call it, which I will start to grow later this episode, the better, because we know winter can kick my ass. Man, this is kind of weird commentating this way. I'm not going to lie. It feels weird anyway. I'm so used to live commentary that post-commentary is not exactly something I'm entirely used to. But we have laid out the blueprints now to make sure they have a refrigerator up and running. I'm going to make sure the temperature thing is in there. We'll be able to start freezing some stuff to make sure it doesn't go bad and keep things going. I'm going to plop a couple of doors. I put one leading from the main dining area all the way through to the refrigerator, as well as putting a door right outside to make sure I can bring things directly into the refrigerated room from my farm, obviously. So that's going to take care of that. I'm also looking into planning where I'm going to end up mining next. There's quite a few areas I need to mine, and I end up kind of spreading myself a little bit thin here and telling them to mine in like 2 or 3 different areas. We are low on metals, so my characters are not going to be able to, or my settlers are not going to be able to do the building that they normally do until we have that metal. So I'm kind of experimenting as to see where the easiest place to mine metal is from right now, and I kind of spread myself a little thin, putting them the 3 different kind of wildly different sides of the map to mine that. I realize after it's already too late that may not have been the smartest idea, but you know, I'm not exactly the smartest man in the world, as many of you I'm sure are telling me in the comments section. Yeah, that's right, I see you down there. I see you telling me how terrible of a person I am. Assholes. Anyway, so we're going to be mining out some metals and hopefully building some things in the process. Getting that defensive wall up early, but the sooner we can get the refrigeration process going, the better. I kind of want to get that up and running first. Alright, so it looks like we've got ourselves the walls being built soon. There we go. We're actually starting to refrigerate a few things here. Power is not that big a deal. I will end up thinking about building some more power things later. But we are running a little bit low on wood, so I do decide maybe we should chop down a few things. I cancel a couple of them because I think, hey, you know what, we don't need that much wood, just a little bit. And we can kind of maneuver from there as they chop down those 6 trees that I've designated. Because, you know, 6 is the magic number. Because there's no rhyme or reason, guys. Don't ever question what I do. I don't appreciate it. It hurts me on the inside. Also, getting up some simple meals is going to be good. We will designate the refrigerated area as only food sources can go. So all meals, raw and cooked and finished, will go in the refrigerated area. And it can hold quite a bit, so we won't have to worry about it too much. I do think, as I'm showing you there, that we can expand a little bit to the side. And one of the things I'm debating doing it, and I don't think I did it this episode, is expanding that battery room out a little bit further and then dropping another 1 or 2 solar panels next to the solar panel there. It will generate a lot more power. Now, of course, I do want to get geothermal power up and running first if I can. But right now, the way I have the priority set up for my current people, research is not something that they're going out of their way to do. They will get research done when it happens and when I have that research table up, but it's not a focus of theirs, as it shouldn't be, as right now we're still super small of a colony, and I don't want to really waste their time doing the research too much. But to get a little bit of research done here and there is good. When we start getting a much bigger colony, I think, you know, stressing the geothermal power plant is going to be important, as well as having all of the extra windmills and solar panels up and running. But for now, not so much. So we got this refrigerated area up. We'll make sure it only is taking foods, both cooked and raw. We'll make sure it's a critical priority, and then we'll move on from there. It looks like I also decided to choose putting hops down as well, because there is beer brewing in this update, and we're going to be taking care of that shortly. We're also going to go over to this stockpile here, and we're going to make sure no foods go in here so that they can haul the food that is already there into the refrigerated area. Ugh, I apologize. Yawning there. I just did this massive amounts of recording today. I didn't expect to be re-recording the commentary for this particular episode, but I don't want to waste the footage, man. It's good footage, and I think watching every step along the way of Rimworld is going to be good. So this is where I decided, you know what, let's start doing some manual priorities. I think we're kind of stable enough where deliberately assigning tasks and stuff to our settlers is going to be the most important. I make a mistake here, which I'm going to leave it for you to discover right away. We'll see if it does affect me, but we'll see when it affects me. Let's put it that way. It doesn't affect me right away, but it will, and you'll see. It's funny. So yeah, we got some good stuff going here. I will come back in here and fiddle with it a little bit more as things kind of maneuver. I do want to make sure that there are certain things, you know, being worked on more often than others. I think I put one person on mining as their first priority for right now. I feel like I come back and change that, but I'm not entirely sure. And we'll move in there. I made a mistake there. Come on, it's a game. You got to tell me where I fucked up there. It's not going to affect us right now, but it will. You'll see. I make a big mistake. We got some people visiting, and they're eating a snack. They're kind of being annoying, just kind of chilling around. I wish they would join me. We do have a prisoner's bed up and running for when it happens. I don't know why I'm yawning. Maybe because it's late or something. Looks like our Great Wall of Defense is almost finished up. I'm glad I was able to do that and get that up and going as well, so we can kind of funnel people through a very particular direction. And are we gonna... Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start building another grow zone on the left-hand side here. And this is gonna be just for Zerigium, the medical supply stuff. I want to make sure we have medical supplies as soon as we can. Again, another thing we have to concern ourselves with as time goes on. And obviously, as summer's coming around, we got to kind of take advantage of that. So, it looks like an escape pod crashed nearby. We have ourselves Geo the Oaf. And I take one of my guys and let's see if we can do anything else. It looks like we can actually rescue him. So let's go ahead and rescue him. And instead of arresting him and see what that does. Hopefully what it'll do is he'll just join us. And because it says I can't put him in a prisoner bed. So hopefully he'll just join us. It's weird. I don't think that option was in Alpha 8. If it was, I forgot about it. But she's going to go ahead and get some basic medical treatment. We can't really do anything with him, and he's not part of the colony as we take a look at the task thing there. So we'll see what ends up happening with him. And as soon as he's good to go, as soon as Geo's good to go, he fucking bounces. You can also see Geo's been in cryo sleep for over 500 years. 500 years. I'm curious if he just woke up now, because at 500 years have passed, dude is going to flip out. So he's been in cryosleep for 500 years. That's insane. But freaking Geo over here, as you can see, we healed him up. And I thought he was just going to join our colony. But no, he's a little bit beat up and he's got a little bit of a bandage. And now dude's just booking it. He's out. He's naked. He's just running. I can imagine he woke up in his bed. He's like, where are my clothes? Oh, God, I'm naked. And he just leaves the room, throws his hands in the air, is wailing and running across the field, just yelling, I'm free. I'm free, bitches. So I try and arrest him, be like, Geo, you're not mentally sane. Come back. Geo, come. Fuck. And Geo escapes. You know, you'd think he'd do us the favor of goddamn joining our colony after that little escapade. But no, the asshole just runs the fuck away like a dick. Whatever. Hey, at least we're going ahead and storing our food and starting to freeze it here so it doesn't spoil. I noticed that it said it was spoiling in a few days, so here I'm making sure it's freezing and not refrigerated. I don't know if there's really a benefit to freezing it over refrigerating it, outside the fact that it won't spoil. But is there a bad thing? Is it bad to do that? The world may never know. I think that's where I'm going to leave that. I don't know. I should probably wiki it, but fuck that. The Wikipedia is, you know, no need. No need at all. So let's go ahead and actually drop a... I'm looking into building a hospital here, and then I decide that I don't want it there. I build it here, and then I put a door down. I'm like, this will be great. We'll put our hospital here. You know what? Let's not do that. And the reason I decide not to put the hospital there and move it up, as you'll see in a minute, is because instead, what I think I'm going to do is put some farmland next to the refrigerator instead, so that they can easily shuffle things back and forth between the farmlands and the refrigerator without having to walk too far. A lot of what I learned, at least the last time I played, was that efficiency is the most important thing I can focus on. So we're gonna get a hospital up and running. We will just talk about putting farms up and next to the refrigerator soon. I don't end up doing it now because we don't really need it. And we have a little while before winter really does roll around. Hopefully it won't roll around anytime soon. And what is this? Okay, cool. So there we go. We got that up and running. We're going to end up building, I think, another power source. Yeah, right here. If you take a look, we're going to drop our solar panel. I do want to start getting at least more excess power going, because if we're not going to get the geothermal thing running up right now, the amount of power that we're storing right now isn't really all that high. So let's see if we can get ourselves another solar panel up and running, and that should really take care of a lot of our problems. And we got ourselves a pirate who decided to land and plan his attack. One single pirate gonna plan his attack, and we're gonna discover something new here that I didn't understand right away. I was like, you know, we're fine. We've got our turret. The turret will take care of it. We'll worry about that as things go on and not considerably worry about it. And then you'll learn why I end up worrying about it in a little while. Once he decides he wants to attack. He's still sitting there mulling to himself, planning, he likes to call it. I like to call it just sitting there and talking to himself like a crazy person. Personally. I think he is a little bit of a crazy person. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so here it comes. And I slap on the turret. And then I'm sitting there going... Okay, let's just set these guys up and running. I don't know what's going on. The turret hasn't turned on yet, and I'm not quite sure what the problem is, why the turret hasn't turned on yet. He's melee attacking, and he has no gun. I take that as a cue as, you know, maybe I should send her in and do the stabby thing with the dagger that she has. But I don't know why the turret's not turning on, and I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure it out, but right now we have to worry about this guy. Luckily, he's running away. The minute he got stabbed, he fucking ran. So I take the girl with the gun. I tell her, you know what, you're fine. We're just going to stab this guy till he falls over, and hopefully we'll be able to catch him. And we do. He falls over. He's got cuts. No big deal. We're going to go ahead and capture him, unrestrict that weapon, and now I'm going to try and figure out what the hell's going on with the turret and why exactly the turret's all fucked up. So I don't understand why it's not getting any power. I don't get what's going on. Oh, I'm also checking his stats to see how easy it is to recruit. I believe it was, yep, there it is, 72 to recruit. So we're going to say, hey, you know what? That's fine. It's under 80. We'll give it a shot. Once he's go ahead and doing some, I think he's trying to heal him. I can't, she's feeding him berries or something. I don't know. And this is where you're going to see the mistake from before come into play, by the way. If you guys already saw the mistake, then you'll know. If not, maybe the prisoner will tell you why. So, I guess I'll just tell you what the problem is with the turret. Something we'll discover, you know, here in a few minutes on the video. So, in order to turn on electronics now, you actually have to flip a switch. It works more like Dwarf Fortress, where if you want to turn things on, your settlers actually have to go over to the object and turn it on manually. No longer can I just turn the power on and off, the settlers have to go over and take care of it themselves. And that is new. And I'm glad I discovered it now against one pirate who had a melee weapon as opposed to when I get attacked by like 60. So that's also going to add an extra layer of problems when it comes to it. So this guy is in here. He's bleeding out. I don't notice it. I'm like, you know, whatever. He's bleeding out. He's dying in his room, and he's not getting medical attention. He got cut up. We put him in a room, and then we're just letting him bleed out. So what I forgot to do, and there he is. He dies. Was to set a warden on his priority 1. Here I am like, oh God, what the hell happened? He died. And then I realized, oh shit, I forgot to have a warden. My warden was at level 4. Oops, that was a mistake. So we won't have to worry about that again. Luckily, you know, we're discovering some of the stuff early on, and some of it's my fault, like the warden thing. Some of it's just new, like the turret thing. Things that we'll kind of discover and learn along the way. Decide, you know, let's build 4 graves. We're going to end up needing them. And then immediately after this guy dies, somebody crash lands right in our farm. This guy, poor bastard, landed right in a farm. We're going to go ahead and capture him and put him in. Instead of rescuing him, going to make him our prisoner, as we should. And we'll be healing him up and taking care of him and bringing him into the colony. He's also a lot easier to recruit, which is nice. We'll take him right in. If I remember his chronological age, he's been in like chrono sleep or cryo sleep for only like 100 years or something. Not as bad as the other guy who we rescued before, who was in cryo sleep for 500 years. For now, we just dump Pirate Body in the dump zone over there. No big deal. We're going to start taking care of him. Hey, look, he's actually getting medicine this time, so he won't end up dying. And we'll hopefully kind of focus on that and take care of it, which is great. I'm happy to actually have the game replace the guy I lost so freaking quickly, which doesn't happen very often. I appreciate it, though. So we got the hospital being built. Nothing really going on. I'm going to fiddle with some of the stuff to make sure that we have maybe somebody else who's going to mine a little bit more often than just the one guy. We're not really at the point where we can lay back and say, hey, you know, only one guy is going to be mining away right now. We're going to need more than that. And everything else is going to be working just fine. Yep, this is where I discover we have to have the thing flipped. I'm messing with it. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is right now. And it's takes a little while. Takes a little while until we can figure it out, but then I figure out, oh, it needs a switch. Gotcha. Needs a flip switch to be flipped, and we take care of it. There we go. All fake. Oh no, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm like, where? I don't get it, man. Oh, the power is connected. I don't get it. I don't get what the problem is, man. I don't understand. But it is what it is. Mathis is dumb, and he'll figure it out eventually. Man, look, it's like I'm watching with you guys. This is great. Now I know why you're so mad all the time. Except I don't know some of the new stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and switch up some of put that to priority 1, which it should be, which is great. There you go, flip switching. Everybody can control, rather, is what I called it, up to priority 1. And looks like we're going to be coming to the end of the episode soon. We're going to turn this thing off. We need to get repaired. I totally forgot this episode, which I'll take care of next episode. We have to make sure the repairing's up as number 1 kind of priority here. But there's not much else for us to do, and we're going to wrap up this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this post-commentary. If you did, come back next time for some more Rimworld. Consider dropping a like. Your support means the world to me. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.